So Jeff, another thing that I've ran into during my rabbit hole journey of the last 6 months really is there is whole swaths of the population that really do believe in wealth redistribution, right? And if you put the taxation argument aside, a lot of people feel very passionate about that, so I'm not going to get into that. But the because it's not the reality is that a lot of these things that they promise can't be paid for with tax revenue alone. It's paid, a lot of it is paid for, I would say a very big majority of it is paid for by deficit spending, money printing, right? And you can make the argument that printing money is a form of wealth redistribution, right? It's just, I think a lot of people don't. Here's an $1,800 stimmy check. A lot of people don't like think about the consequences of being able to provide that to so many people in the public.
Yeah, well, it's just incentives. So if that incentive comes from theft, and that theft makes some people poorer and some people richer, that short-term incentive, most people, so the same people that are getting most hurt by this, what would they naturally do? So they would vote for a government who's going to give them more free money, unaware that that free money is coming from their own pockets and making them poorer, or removing their individual, the end of that, removing their individual rights and freedoms along the way. It is that's where it's coming from. But it's why socialism rises. It's why socialism gets stronger and stronger. People are hurting, and they can't. Those people won't invest. When you're in pain, when you're living your life in fear, you typically can't. You're trying to pay. You're trying to run from the lion. You're not trying. You're not higher order thinking. And what does the system look like? You're trying to feed your family. And in that environment where fear is dominant, if you look at media today, if you look at government today, if you look at, fear is dominant in society. And it's just dominant in society because a way to keep people in perpetual fear is they'll vote for you.
So, and that's something else that I've really ran into down the rabbit hole is Bitcoin even compatible with that philosophy? I do not think it is, right? I think it's an individual thing. And it makes it very difficult to implement that type of system, even with just the incentives provided by Bitcoin alone. And then, right, you can make the argument that in a way, it is the natural enemy of that system. And if you look at what the Chinese Communist Party and their outlook on Bitcoin, right, it's already happening, right? They see the writings on the wall is what I'm trying to say.
So that system, and again, that's where you'd have to say, if a system was 10,000 times bigger than Bitcoin, and everything in that system was going to go away, all of the power brokers in that system, a lot of power that they had from a new system. Would it be easier to tell yourself a lie that said, and it has to be me, I'm the one helping these people, those poor people at the bottom, without me here, they wouldn't be helped. I'm the savior, I'm the hero. And it's easy. I think there's a lot of people in that existing system that actually believe that's true. And they believe it because they get so much feedback, positive response feedback or love from their base that tells them that without you, I would be lost. But it is based on a lie. It's based on, the entire thing is based on a theft. And in that system, you'll have a whole bunch more people feeding back into that system to be able to rise to the top of a broken system. Bitcoin is exact system. It redistributes wealth through value. And if you don't provide value in that system, prices still fall for you. They fall everywhere for you.
Yeah.
So you have actually a redistribution of wealth to the value creators versus the rent seekers.
I completely agree, but I don't think they'll see it that way.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. It
Mm,
actually, it makes no difference. This transition is going to happen anyways. We
mm.
will not live in the system we live in, because the system we live in, if you actually just played it to its finality, if we didn't go to war before, but we would. So the system we live in will destroy our world because we'll go to war before. If we didn't go to war, pick the person sitting on top of AI and robotics, pick the face that you want to control all of society, to make all rules for society, because that's the way that system looks. The one person, not a whole bunch of people around that person, but pick the one person you want to consolidate all of the productive capacity of the world into, who makes the decisions for everybody else. That's what the society looks like, because technology will not stop. Now, uh, so that is the choice, and because that's the choice, people are eventually going to get this, right? It's going to get a lot worse for people in depending on where they are in the world, but they're going to get this, and they're going to get that we have to separate money and state.
So you just said something very powerful, Jeff, and I'm gonna translate it into Nico, right? You just said that Bitcoin saved humanity from slavery. That's essentially.
That's what it does. That's what it does. It allowed, and when you when you just said that, I feel like I've been saying the same thing forever. But sometimes when I say it, somebody else has the but yes, that is exactly what it does, because the our ideas are the society we live in. So when we all have all of those differentiating ideas compete, and we create more value, and then when we create more value, that competition, it destroys old monopolies, yes, but that competition of value in a free market um, is our living standards. It is one and the same. The value that we create is our living standards. So if you're going to rob that value created, which is deflationary, you're going to steal that and transfer it to a smaller and smaller group of people who decide the rules for everybody else, then that's what society is going to look like. It's going to look like a very small one, eventually, person sitting on top of AI system that tells everybody in the world how much they can eat, what they can do, what their world looks like. I suspect there's no chance human beings will go along with that system. So it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time. It's just how fast, who understands, how fast, what do they do about it, how much time are they spend building the new system.
So do you believe in the theory presented in, one of the most famous books for Bitcoiners, right? The Sovereign Individual. Do you believe in the case of we're going to see the death of politics? Not the death, the death of the importance of politics, better said.
Yeah, so that's eventually what's going to happen is there's going to be a resurgence, a reemergence of truth in politics around the system. And right now you can see, if Bitcoin isn't in this election, or in upcoming one that where it's a swing vote, where if you're not a Bitcoiner you won't get elected. It's coming soon, and that's going to come in a lot of different regions in the world. And what I said before is, you're going to be electing governments that are telling you the truth. It's
Uh,
just a natural.
that is so unbelievable at this moment, but I completely agree. I think the voter base is going to be so big that you're not, and you're already starting to see this. You're starting to see politicians that are running on the Bitcoin platform already. This is already happening.
It's already happening, and that'll just accelerate. And
Absolutely.
remember, this transition is going to take some time, and there's going to be a lot of things that are being thrown against this. But just for Bitcoiners, you would have to assume for something to withstand. Right, we say TikTok next block is just protocoling, nothing stopping. If you look at adoption rates of people, not price, adoption rates of people, businesses being built to it, what's happening, it's exploding. How could you look at this system and realizing system that's 10,000 times bigger would have to do everything possible to try to kill it? And it keeps on getting stronger and stronger and stronger, with more decentralized today, more secure today, more people growing exponentially, providing on a network effect that's providing more and more value. Yes, not everybody can see that value yet because all those companies aren't formed yet. So it's still early. But that value build, I cannot believe, if you see it, if you're inside it, I can't believe that I get to spend that much time inside it, instead of in the existing world, because I cannot figure out how to create that type of value in the existing system.